Good morning, everybody. My name is Sandra Yepes, and today I am going to talk about a topic of the language testing subject that is the formative and summative assessment. Before I start with the topic, I'm going to give you some concept of assessments. Assessments help us to show if we are teaching what we think we are teaching. It determines the goals of the educations and is an important and integral part of the teaching. Assessment provides feedback on students' learning and communicates learners' expectations. Finally, assessment analyzes the student's strengths and needs. Once we have seen what the purposes of the assessments are, I am going to talk about the formative assessment. The formative assessment is a most diagnostic tool than evaluative tool. It provides students with a feedback on how they are going during the learning process. It helps students to improve their performance and monitor the learning process in a specific time, and it improves the students' learning. The formative assessment is flexible and informal, and it helps students to identify their strengths and their weaknesses, as we can see before. Formative assessment helps teachers to identify problems in this real time. With formative assessment, teachers can know if the teaching plans needs to be revised or reinforced, or it needs a change. Now I'm going to give you an example of formative assessment. Assess students' reactions to learning. We can give a feedback form. The teacher dividing the class in small groups, and they ask a series of questions about the lessons that they have seen. With the answers of their learners or their students, the teachers can discern the level of students and understanding in this time. Now, I'm going to talk about summative assessment. Summative assessment evaluates students' learning and knowledges at the end of a period. It can be at the end of the unit, at the end of the program, at the end of the course, at the end of the year. It is a very formal grade, and the purpose of summative assessment is to let the teachers and the learners know the level of achievements and goals achieved. The importance of summative assessment is that provides an essential issue to check the progress of learners. Summative assessment assigns grades. It evaluates the students' achievements and contributes to improve the curriculum plan. Always at the end of a period, a certain period. Now, I'm going to give you an example of summative assessment, and the most traditional form of this assessment is the final exam. It is a simple way to assess the learner's skills and knowledges, and it can be done through multiple choices, a test, or questions development. Now, I'm going to show you a little chart about the difference of the formative and summative assessment. Formative assessment can be throughout a class or during a learning activity, while summative assessment occurs at the end of a period of time. Formative assessment monitors the student's learning, while summative assessment allows to evaluate the student learning. Formative assessment is an informal process, and summative assessment is a formal process. Formative assessment produces feedback, while summative assessment produces a grade. And finally, a formative assessment is diagnostic, and summative assessment is evaluative. These are the references that I consulted, and thank you for. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you on the next time. Bye bye.